Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is salamanders. Salamanders are a symbol of transformation and change and adaptability. And we're going to have a conversation about that this morning. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Vigorously rub those hands together. Feel the friction, the temperature, the motion, the pressure, and all the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Rosalind. Good morning, Robin. How wonderful to have you all here with us this morning and everybody else who's joining us. And so this morning, I have to find my phone here because I want to read something for you. I just have to see if I can find it. It disappeared here. Maybe I'm not going to get to read this thing. Oh my. Honestly, I had my phone just a minute ago. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I imagine you all have had occasion to be in that semi-dream state. And I gifted myself. I had my alarm set for 6 o'clock this morning, and I gifted myself 2 hours extra because I had a restless night. So in that 2 hours, I was kind of in an altered meditative quasi sleep state. And there was something that happened, and I don't remember what the sequence was, but I was looking at a tree and there were salamanders. I think there were 3 salamanders on the tree. And I said, there was somebody else that I was calling out to saying, look at these salamanders, look at these salamanders. And it was vivid enough that when I awoke, I remembered, look at the salamanders. And so there's our topic for this morning. So I looked up salamanders and their symbolic significance. And I thought I'd share it because they're pretty interesting creatures. So they're cold-blooded. They live between land and sea. Often covered with smooth, slick skin, sometimes in wild patterns. So we can look at this in metaphorical terms. Frequently small, but in some instances growing to great lengths. The salamander has caught the eye of mystics and poets for many years. Sometimes known as a creature of fire, the salamander represents change and rebirth. In nature, we can see it adapt to their surroundings using intuition to guide them. They're found in many areas across the globe. It's known as a creature of diversity. A spiritual connection will frequently appear at a time of great change. Let's see. When you see symbols of the salamander, you might be surprised that flames often cover them. It represents the strength of the salamander. People thought this animal was resistant to flame or able to put out fires with just the cold of their body. Because of these associations, the salamander typically symbolizes transformation. They can represent the ability to go through something difficult and come out even stronger. So salamanders are creature of the water, earth, and fire. They symbolize the need to find balance in our lives, sometimes through change, representing positive growth, being able to move forward even after bad circumstances. So Rosalind, what a great question. Rosalind says, what was the emotion during the dream? Was it calling attention to look and see? It was like this, an excitement, a wonder. Look at these salamanders, that were on the tree. It was really interesting. So let's see, if a salamander is your spirit animal, it will often come to you when you're about to undergo a transformation. And it was really interesting because the thoughts were transformative thoughts. The thoughts were about shifting old patterns of love and relationship and partnership. And so let's see what else there is. With a salamander spirit animal, you can adapt and change to new circumstances, even if they may seem scary. It can also help you find balance in your life. If you're focusing your energy in the wrong place or you're letting time get away, it symbolizes finding a better balance. Or that you need to detox your life, looking out for negative energies that could be throwing off your balance or preventing you from growing. Those with the salamander totem typically have a close connection to the environment. It's a bridge between the elements. They live their lives on land and water, and they represent a deep care for nature. Let's see. You have the ability to transform and adapt. Let's see. So I think we got to the primary points. Salamanders are nocturnal and can see in the dark. Some salamanders adapt for life in pitch black caves. This can help you find the way even in the darkest of times. Can also give you comfort and deeper spiritual connection. So, and it goes on. Good morning, Gia. Good evening. Welcome. We're talking about salamanders. Really what we're talking about is transformation and growth. And also paying attention to the symbols that present themselves to us in our lives. So paying attention, in this case, it was sort of a dream that actually said, look at the salamanders. And it's interesting, there were 3, and 3 is a very highly symbolic number as well. But when we I have the gift of being blessed with clients that are moving through transformations all the time. So, you know, they're my salamanders too. And I find it fascinating when our other than conscious intelligence communicates with us, and often does so in very vivid ways. And so that's one of the things that we get to look at, is when we get these messages, let's take the opportunity to listen to them and learn from them. And I'm also hearing, look at the salamanders in this case as look at the symbols, look at the messages that life is presenting to you. Look at the gifts and the communications. Listen, stop, look, listen, to the communications that are present for us all around, all the time. There's sometimes they're vivid, like a directive. Look at the salamanders. What was interesting is that I was saying that to somebody else, but the somebody else wasn't anywhere to be seen, and I don't know if they heard me, but we get the gift of these communications from our other than conscious intelligence, from nature, from the world around us in which we play. And there's so much richness when we pay attention, that there's so much more dimensionality, interdimensionality in our experience than we than we culturally acknowledge in a traditional way. So I invite you to look at the salamanders in your life. I invite you to listen to the communications that are being shared with you. I invite you to recognize that there's wisdom that is being transmitted on all levels, all the time. And it's just a matter of us being willing to pay attention, to waken from our slumber or our daze, to notice. So Rosalind says, every seeker of truth is different, so everything will vary person to person. What a gift to help others navigate the journey back to self. It is a gift, and I am so grateful for that opportunity. And it's magic. I get to participate and witness other people's magical voyage, and that's so enriching and fulfilling to me, to be present to the wonder of the salamanders, and we all have salamanders in our lives, like I don't want to be literal about it, obviously, but if we look at the symbol of salamanders as a symbol of transformation, there are all kinds of representations or all kinds of transformations that are occurring that we get to participate in and be witness to. And I think engaging with that in a conscious way is, for me anyway, it's exciting, it's awe-inspiring, it's life-affirming, it is rewarding. All of these, it's an adventure, right? It makes life an adventure in a more conscious way, to be able to witness and participate in other people's transformation as well as our own. And so it's been really interesting, this process that I've been undergoing with myself, that I think the salamanders are heralding. I just had this cartoon image in my head of salamanders with these big horns, the heralds, heralding in change. But it's a big transformation from the notion of being alone. I've been single pretty much my whole life, and unattached, romantically unattached for most of my whole life. And the transformation for me is looking at relationship and my past behaviors and my emotional predispositions, and clearing all kinds of energies around that history and what may have become partly an identity, and old wounds and brokenheartedness and perspectives on self and remnants of lack of self-acceptance, and all kinds of labyrinthian sort of inquiries to be unearthing and healing these old patterns. And so for the salamanders to arrive was a very welcome gift, to recognize, wow, change and transformation is actually happening. And there's a newness, there's salamanders can regrow their limbs and regrow tails. In a conflict, if they can drop their tail to be able to escape, and then it regrows. So there's this regeneration that can occur. And so allowing ourselves to release parts of ourselves or thoughts of ourselves, beliefs about ourselves that have kept us bound and limited is a profound gift. And in that way, we get to be like the salamander, to regenerate, to release parts that are causing our imprisonment, whether self-imposed or otherwise, right? To shed parts of ourselves that are no longer serving us, and to move into the unknown of a regeneration, to let something grow newly. It's not the full transformation all at once of a caterpillar to a butterfly, but maybe more of an evolutionary transformation, to be moving through life with magic. There's a brilliance about it, this sort of ethereal kind of creature being able to not just adapt, but transcend and transform. And we get to do that. We get, as we grow, as we evolve, there are these transcendent moments where like the old tail just comes off and then something new regrows. And that although it may look similar, it's new and changed. So Rosalind says there's no perfect practice. There's not one way that must be followed. All practices, indeed all teachings, it's a temporary means. I've gone through GP Walsh courses on inner reconciliation to find that the practice is only a model. I agree 100%, Rosalind. The practice is a vehicle. You know, it's not a, it's just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle. And oftentimes we make the practice the thing itself. It's kind of like the map and the territory. There's a saying in NLP that the map is not the territory, meaning that you can look at a map, but it's very different to have your feet in the ground, in mud, you know, that understanding something is not experiencing it. And when we talk about practice, practice is a means. It's not the object, it's not the thing in itself. A practice is a means to achieve a being state, to achieve a state of consciousness. It's not an end in itself typically, and we can get attached to the practice and lose sight of the intention. It's like religion. We can get caught up in the trappings of religion and forget that it's a means of connection to something greater than ourselves. So, salamanders. That's going to be a catchphrase for me, I think, you know, is like, look at the salamanders. I couldn't get a more explicit directive, right? It was just, that's what I woke up with. Look at the salamanders. So I invite you to check out salamanders and maybe look at how you might adopt them into your life and you know, their symbology and see how each of us can be more connected to our own transformation, to our own release of patterns and behaviors and beliefs that no longer serve, and to pay attention to the messages that are available to us, the communications that are available to us to help us stay on our path, to maybe help us redirect when need be. And with that, I'm going to call it a morning. So thank you for playing with me this morning and indulging my dream here. Anyway, I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection, and I go live here each weekday morning. Good morning, Dido. So good to have you here with us this morning to engage in the magic. And I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. And Rosalind says, thank you for pointing to look and see at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I invite you to check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network and Enlightened World Living. And I so appreciate our time together in the morning to share whatever it is that's in the moment presenting itself for our conversation. So until next time, so much love to you.